Yo, what's happening, people? And welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast, where you're going to hear hot takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way. And to everyone that's listening, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hope you all had a good Christmas.
For real.
We are back after it was only a week off. Only took 1 week
It
off.
feels longer though.
Yeah, it does feel longer. A lot of football.
Because that's what it is. Yeah,
a lot of football. I'm starting to think this podcast may be a bit of a good luck charm for Arsenal because no podcasts are back-to-back losses.
That's what I'm saying.
So I guess that means we can't miss another week all season. But yeah, some teams had back-to-back losses. Some teams had back-to-back wins. Some teams are now 5 points clear at the top. But as per usual, Man United fans are still the loudest. Even though
either way it goes,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because I had Man United fans messaging me after the Fulham game like they didn't just lose to Forest the day before. But
that's what they live for now, the Man United fans.
Yeah, it is. And I remember when we were there.
Yeah. You haven't watched Succession, but they're in that Logan has this expression of like, you're searching for a knife in a mud fight. That's Man United. They're in the mud just looking for some way to stab someone.
Yeah. Just anyhow. But there's no way they can win. Because if they want to stab Arsenal, Liverpool are going to go and win the title. If they want to stab Liverpool, Man City are going to go win the title. They're just down bad, down really bad. But we'll get to
that. They get their section.
Because Morgan Gibbs White coming out with some crazy quotes as well, which we're going to touch on. But yeah, we'll start with the early kickoff. Luton versus Chelsea. And Chelsea going 3-0 up before it becoming quite sticky. And I did think Luton might grab a draw towards the end, but a good win for Chelsea. Back-to-back wins for them. I think they're home to Fulham next. So my prediction that they will win 4 games in a row could come true. But they go to Anfield
after that. That's going to be a draw then.
It's going to be...
Now that you said that, it's going to be a draw.
Yeah, probably. But, I mean, on the Luton side... we briefly spoke on it when we met up off air, just to go out. But Adebayo, he's a problem.
He's a problem. These are like some of the deliveries he gets are decent. To be fair, some of them is literally just somebody whacking it in the box, and they've told him like literally make something out of nothing. Yeah. And he's like 10 feet tall in there.
Yeah,
it's literally like he's
I haven't seen a centre back that looks anywhere near his height.
Yeah. It's like he's on stilts. It's like he's already on stilts when he's up there.
Yeah,
and he takes it down on his chest or. I'm like, what?
Six Premier League goals for Elijah Adebayo.
Fair play to Luton. I just want to like at Kenilworth Road, man. They're a problem.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. They're like even in this Chelsea game. Chelsea were cruising. Like that first 16 minutes could not have gone any better for Chelsea. Everybody you wanted to be on the score sheet was on the score sheet. Even Nicholas Jackson was taking balls on the half turn, dropping deep, sliding it through. You think, okay.
Poch had him on the wing this game.
You know what I'm saying? And then, as you're saying, Adebayo, Luton, put balls in the box, just like never got in the way.
They should have
got something.
Yeah, at 3-0 down to come back and do what they did, like you say, Kenilworth Road. But also it's not just about having a great home atmosphere, which they do have.
They do,
but the way you play also needs to be up to scratch in the Premier League. And I think
they've learned lessons quickly.
Yeah, credit to Rob Edwards because the game we played there, the game that Man City went there, Liverpool. They beat Newcastle. It's not just pure passion. No, there is some, and I think Ross Barkley is another one who's a major part of that.
Yeah, he's just dropping 7 and 8
because there's no way they'll be able to transition the ball
anywhere near
from defense to attack without a guy like Ross Barkley playing how he is.
Anytime a nice pass or a tidy bit of play is done on the pitch, and you think, "Oh, who's that?"
Yeah,
it's Ross.
Yeah, like you see that one when the ball's coming down and he like Cruyff passes it into someone. Yeah, Ross Barkley was running. She got a goal as well.
But I do want to say that if Luton are going to stay up, it will be because of just the fight and the performances at home, especially.
Yeah.
Even if all right, to be fair, they lost 3-2, but
they might not win an away game from now to the end of the season.
But if you put in that level of fight into every home game and that level of performance into every home game, even if you're 3-0 down, you'll turn some games around, and you'll pick up enough points at home where it's at least you're not a castaway. And it's coming down to the final couple of days or final couple of games.
I think the only thing for Luton, and I want to say that they'll stay up. And I think they're a good team to have in the Premier League. Just for when the big teams go there, it's going to be tough. But I think with the teams that they're competing with, Everton, Forest, Brentford are down there, Palace.
They got quality.
I just don't think like all of those teams we've seen can pick up points home and away. Which I think might be the difference.
Which is the difference.
Yeah.
I was also going to say, I feel like I do want Luton to kind of stay up for the vibes. I don't know if they will. I don't really think they will.
Yeah.
But I always think that when a team comes up, especially a team like Luton, and it's like either you've not been in the Prem for a long time. Like remember when Leeds came up,
Shef U,
and it's like you do it in your first season. You make your
Shef U are going to play in Europe.
You make your home a fortress in the first season, and then the second season comes around, and you're holding drillings like 4 or 5-0 every time at home, and you just can't sustain it.
It's that standard thing of like, and we've seen it happen a lot when a team comes up, and it's like for one season they can outfight, outpassion, outrun, literally, like a lot of Premier League teams, and use that to their advantage. But then the quality always comes to the fore, right?
Yeah.
So
Luton finished, as you said, not Luton, sorry. Remember Sheffield? They finished below us by like a point.
Yeah.
That season,
and that was because before COVID, they were in top 4, top 5, something like that. Yeah,
they finished below us by a point, and then the next season it was like, we're done.
Yeah,
we can't
finish. So. But on Chelsea, because I think Chelsea deserve their praise. Madueke got a last-minute penalty winner against Palace in the midweek, and then got his start. A lot of Chelsea fans have been calling for him to start. Oman being one of them, and I knew once he came on because he made a difference in the Palace game and obviously scored the pen. I knew Poch would then start him, because Poch is that kind of manager where if a guy comes on and shows you that he deserves to start the next game, Poch will keep you in there. And Madueke went and scored again. So shout out to Madueke, man. He spent a lot of time on the bench.
Yeah.
And a lot of players might sulk, and even when they get their chance, they don't take it. He's come on and he's taken it.
I think, I agree with that. It does take a lot of credit, or I should give him a lot of credit for that. But there's no other way to be at Chelsea. There's so many wingers and wide options, and these guys, like you're like at training, you must be looking around thinking, I'm going to be in and out of this. Like, to be ready, I think that's where the credit is. Like, he's put you in there, and you've taken your moments, and you've been ready for it.
And there's been a lot of rumors about Madueke wanting to go out on loan or wanting to leave.
It's going to be one of those ones where you need game time. Yeah, it's going to be those ones definitely where you need game time. And you have the I don't know, the blessing and the curse of Chelsea is they've got so many guys who are roughly the same age, all fighting for the same position. Where it's like
all with similar attributes.
Yeah, for example, if Madueke gets games and Nico Jackson's on the bench, Nico Jackson would be like, "Oh, well, maybe I should go on loan." It's the same with it's the same with Mudryk, and the same with like all of these guys. So, it's going to be a tough one for Poch to actually handle all of these, especially if all of them are starting to collect. Sterling when these guys are on the bench, it's like, how long is that going to last for?
Yeah,
Well,
I think the way Madueke has just played, I think he keeps his place.
Yeah.
And I think as long as he keeps doing the business,
bench as well.
Yeah. I think as long as he keeps doing the business, he'll stay in the team. I think Nkunku will start to.
Who do you think you would have as your starting like Chelsea front three? Because they have so many combinations.
I'd go from midfield. Yeah, and I don't think Enzo should come back into this team.
Do you hear they're doing better without him?
Yeah, and I think even when he came on when they were 3-0 up,
and
right? And it's not like he was directly at fault for the goals, but away at Luton, like Enzo's just gonna get munched. So I'd keep it Caicedo and Gallagher. There's no way they should be selling Gallagher in January. That's just a death wish. Especially not to Tottenham.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, go on. I'll let you finish.
Palmer in the 10. I think that's his best position. I think that's where he should play. Nkunku up top. I'd go with Sterling on the left and Madueke on the right.
Okay.
That's what I would do. And I think Jackson actually played quite well from the left. And I think that will take away some of the goal scoring pressure on him.
I weirdly don't mind Jackson. I know he gets a lot of shit because he misses chances and he's such an unfinished product, and I hear that. But I think he's one that I would like kind of just give him games because that's the only way he's ever going to get out of.
And he has some nice moments. Like, that's not the assist for Palmer.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I think playing him on the wing will take that goal. Like, you need to bag goals. Like, I'll take that away from him.
Yeah, because I think Jackson's going to be one of those guys where he's going to get a lot of stick this season. He'll probably finish with like 10, 12 goals, all comps, 15 goals, all comps. He's already on 7 now in the Prem. And it's like, well, he's a 20-year-old winger forward striker in his first season in the Premier League. It's like, well, how much? And he's showing you bits of quality and a lot of rawness. I'll definitely stick Jackson and just give him the game time.
Where would you play him though?
It depends on how good Nkunku is.
Nkunku's better than Jackson.
And like, no, in terms of like, yes, down the center.
Even just from the moments
I wouldn't mind putting Nkunku in the 10 behind Jackson
and Palmer on the right.
And putting Palmer on the right. Because I think I do think the 10 is probably Palmer's best position, but I think at this stage in his career, if he's always going to be having his back to goal and stuff, he's just going to be like getting crunched like weak a lot more, especially if he's as good as we think he is, yeah. And as soon as guys start realizing that, it's just going to be like knees in the back,
He's
treated
different.
Yeah, and it's like he might as well see the game ahead of him, get the ball from the wide, whip the crosses in, ride the challenges, then I see what you mean.
But yeah, I just think especially for someone like Palmer, who is Chelsea's main creator, almost like a Bruno Fernandes in the like way he creates the chances and stuff. To put him out on the right, I think then, to be fair, if you play him with Gusto, who I think looks decent as well.
Gusto does look decent.
An overlapping.
And he's young as well.
And Gusto will get up and down. He looks like he's got the engine to do that.
Yeah.
I think that could help Palmer if he does play on the right. But ultimately, I just think Cole Palmer's been one of the signings of the season. That second goal, the way
quality.
He ball rolls.
It was
very
Ozilesque. I love the celebration as well.
Yeah. And then him and Madueke's interview afterwards. But Chelsea 3 points behind United now.
Yeah, they're climbing. That's going to be an interesting who finishes ahead of who battle.
Chelsea will finish ahead of Man United. Well, next week, just an exclusive here. Me and Michael are gonna do. I was thinking we'll do mid-season awards and predictions.
Okay.
So we'll have like player of the season so far, flop of the season so far.
Yeah.
And we'll predict title winner, top 4, everything else. And we'll stick around, see if Man United. We'll do top 7. They'll all get European places, and Man United might not even be in that.
That's fascinating.
But yeah, we'll move on to Aston Villa versus Burnley. A game that I think Aston Villa actually got away with one here. They were fortunate to get the 3 points because when Burnley made it 2-2, I knew they would lose.
Yeah. They have that in their DNA now.
And it couldn't have come in a more Vincent Company Burnley's way. In this stupid penalty to give away, like just so slow.
It's the timing as well. It's like Burnley could have given that penalty away in the 77th minute.
Yeah.
They could have given it away in the 81st, 82nd. It's like we're gonna wait till the clock is absolutely run down. Give us no chance.
Down to 10 men, everyone's run their socks off. Nowhere coming back into this.
Give us no chance at rebuttal, and we're just gonna concede.
Company's made all his defensive substitutions.
Yeah, let's just sink the ship.
Yeah. But it was a cold pen from Douglas Luiz off the crossbar. And Villa picked up the 3 points. But I think there's already early signs with Villa that the way they're playing might not be sustainable. For the rest of the season.
I think their away record, man, they can do this at home, but I think their away record is going to let them down, and their performances away are going to let them down. But I do want to give credit to Leon Bailey. I just think Emery's got him cooking, man. When Diaby came, I think a lot of us thought I remember the guys were even joking on Twitter that that Diaby's going to replace Bailey again at 2 different clubs. But he stood out this year. Yeah, he's getting game time. He's putting in my opinion,
he's looked better than Diaby when he's played.
And
Diaby scored again.
That's what I'm saying. Watkins has 9 and 8 or whatever it is now.
Yeah,
it's still crazy
in the game. But yeah, I think Villa. I think they're going to struggle to make top 4 in my opinion.
100%. Top 4 is going to be tough. That consistency. Towards the end of the season, but to give the Villa fans out there some credit, they still have some people to come back from injuries.
Yeah,
some big injuries. So this could potentially not be the best form, but I agree with you. How they're playing now, their away form, I don't really see them staying up that high.
Yeah, and look, we're not experts.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But when I watch, and this is from experience of seeing Unai Emery's football at my club, when I watch Unai Emery's Aston Villa, I can see the kind of
where it's going to happen.
Yeah, the downfalls of the system. And I mean, they were lucky against Burnley. They were a bit lucky against Shef U as well to even come away with a point in that. They threw away the game at Man United. And I think they've got Everton away next, which will be a decent test for them.
That Man United one was where I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's that Unai underbelly. Yeah. If we can be 2-0 up and just throw a game away. Just give it up.
Like you say, that away form.
Have 3 points.
You can't have that away form and get into the top 4 the season because other teams will. But to be where they are, they're what, second?
Yeah, and the reason the second half is even more important, as you said, like it all comes to a head. Like teams in the bottom start. We're talking shit about Burnley, and obviously I don't know if they've played away already yet, but when you start coming to Burnley away and they're fighting for points, it's like it could be a different story
if they have a different manager. I don't think anyone's gonna be worried about going to Burnley under company. Because they'll give you the game. They'll gift it to you.
And they got to stop missing these gilt-edged chances, man.
Yeah.
Got to.
I think it's good for Burnley that Lyle Foster's back though. He looks like a threat. He scored an offside goal as well. Where he ran from the halfway line. A great finish for his goal. But yeah, we'll move on from that game to Palace versus Brentford. Palace winning 3-1. They've picked up a bit of form as expected with Eze and Olise coming back. Two quality players. Yeah.
Palace
Olise bagging a brace, 2 great goals.
Yeah,
I mean, they were all great goals to be fair.
Olise is really that guy though.
Yeah,
he's like he's
well,
like.
What about quantify that?
I was about to say something crazy.
yeah, he's that guy. But what does that mean?
He's that guy in the essence of like when people are crying about a lot of flary wingers and skillful wingers left the Premier League and they're all like cut, just knock and run guys, finish at the back post kind of guys. Olise is like of the ilk of the Mahrez and the Zaha. And
I was going to say Riyad Mahrez. I think he's more Mahrez than Zaha.
He's definitely more Mahrez than Zaha. Yeah. But I mean, just in the sense of like, you definitely don't want to see him, or you do, but you don't want to see him in quotation marks one-on-one with your defender, because he will not just knock him on, he'll dress him down. Yeah. He'll rip him. He'll cut him inside out.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, he'll literally and he'll do it with such ease that you think, this guy is really,
and it will just look.
It will look. Yeah, the aesthetics is
really good.
The aesthetics is all there with.
I think he's very similar to Mahrez. Obviously, he's got
left-footed. Yeah, I know what you mean.
He gets close to Riyad Mahrez, but in a week where we've had Gary Neville compare certain man to Riyad Mahrez, I think this is an actual comparison you can make.
But I just think, of if you're still looking for that, we definitely love that in wingers, like somebody who can just like one-on-one, just a guy down, or not even just one-on-one, just make something happen with such ease and such class. And Olise shows that they're still here in the Premier League, for sure. Yeah. And he's playing for Crystal Palace, who we're fighting for 15th and 16th place. Like the quality we have is nuts.
I think he's definitely the next one that will go to
the bigger club,
top six team.
And
depending on
Eze is the same as well. Like Eze will just glide past the guy as if he's not even.
If Eze, to be fair, both of them have been a bit injury prone. But Eze in particular, if he could have a season away from any long-term injury, I think his numbers will be
crazy,
very good, very good.
He's got that,
like the first touch for the goal.
Yeah,
the commentator called it a Mateta dummy, but there was just an awful. He just completely missed the ball. It's definitely not a dummy. But Eze's first touch and then left foot across the goal.
Yeah,
like
I also want to shout out Mateta because
he's bringing something.
He's bringing something. Week in, week out, he's bringing something to this Crystal Palace side.
But Mateta before Eze and Olise were in that team, the whole thing was dry. Ayew, Schlupp playing up there. That's Will Hughes in the 10. Mateta. But with those pieces around him,
I agree with you.
He provides.
Who did they play? Not just this last game, but the game before. Mateta was having that defender on strings, turning him inside out. Yes, Chelsea. Yeah. Oh, but Hill couldn't get close to him.
Hill got dropped.
Yeah.
The Rolls Royce.
But yeah, shout out Crystal Palace.
And Roy as well. And at a time when we thought Roy might be under a bit of pressure. And
stuff. He was coming out. But that's so Crystal Palace. What I was going to say, it's so Crystal Palace to just be like, just get a guy back. Normally it was Zaha, but get somebody back from injury, and it's like,
we win 3 on the bounce.
Yeah.
And it's pushed it, lose 3 on the bounce. And then they'll bring it back. But I mean, Brentford are struggling, man. 16th in the table.
Yeah.
And I think they've been really badly hit by injuries.
Of course, Bremo's out. Tony.
I think Jensen only just came back.
Yeah, exactly. I think they lost somebody else as well. Well, Wiss is going to AFCON.
Rico Henry's been out.
Yeah, Rico Henry's been out.
Nathan Collins has just come back. I think Ben Mee's been out.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I think Wiss and another guy, Mecca, might be going to AFCON. So, but I think the problem with Brentford is they're losing games like anyhow. They're losing games
a lot. Like they played Wolves midweek, and what was it, 4-1?
Yeah, they're losing games. They're losing games by 3-4 goal margins where they're just like blown out the water.
Yeah,
they're losing games where they go ahead and then get pegged back and can't get back into it. It's normally Brentford used to be rigid. They were one of the few teams that didn't succumb to that second season. We can't keep it up thing. Yeah, they had a style that were very rigid. They were very tough to break down. Someone and so forth, set pieces, long balls. Tony, and now it's just like they're losing. Like they could be 2-0 up and they could still lose the game.
Yeah,
So
I think for a team like Brentford to lose Tony and Mbeumo, like it's just
for long term
for any team to lose not your number one and number two talisman.
For long term absences as well. Not even just like 3 weeks here, 2 weeks there. It's like months.
But I think Tony can play. His ban is over. I think he can be back next game. Not that he'll start because he won't be match fit, right? But
I think it's from the 19th or something. So it might be not next
the
game,
week after.
One of the two.
Yeah. But yeah, at least they'll have him. Well, they might have him. Who knows where he might go? But
he definitely scores in his first game back. That's Barclays.
Yeah, off the bench.
That's just how Barclays.
It might be Tottenham actually.
That's just how the Barclays.
And then he might go to the camera and go, "I'm back. I'm back."
Estupinian.
But we'll move on from that game to Man City versus Sheffield United. I think Shef U had 15% possession across the 90 minutes. Man City just absolutely dominated the game. And I mean, the only person to really talk about is Phil Foden, man. Started playing in the 10. And like when we had the debate about the top 10 wingers, I said as a number 10, I think Foden's almost undeniable there.
Yeah,
he's and the way he was playing, what he was doing against the low block at Shef U as well. He turned up big time for both. I mean, the first goal he nagged an assist there, with Rodri just driving forward and burying it. But the second goal was a win, man.
No, I think I was gonna say cameos. They're not been cameos. Then like the 90 minutes that Foden's been putting in for the past two games show you his levels. Like he just does some stuff where I remember we were speaking about it off air. And Stedman was agreeing as well. It's just like somebody will drill it into him. Carl Walker or Rodri or whoever it will be will drill it into him in between the lines, and he'll just make it stick. With his first touch will just kill it dead. Yeah. And then his second touch, he's able to get dribble around somebody or whatever it is,
and he's almost turned.
That's what I'm saying.
With his first touch,
and he make and he's so assured that his first touch is dead that his head is already up. His head is already like surveying, swiveling, and it's like, I just think he is. I was gonna say again that he is that guy, but he's shown the levels. He's just shown the levels that he possesses.
Yeah,
and I don't know, Pep. I also give Pep a lot of credit because Pep does this where it's like. Pep gets a guy to a certain level, you think, oh, this guy's undeniable. And then it's like, I don't know, whatever happens, he rotates him out or somebody else gets their time in the sun. And then Pep brings him background. And he always brings him background. Yeah. Like whoever it is, always is brought background. And you think, oh yeah, this guy is incredible.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, I mean, Pep's done it with so
many guys.
Cancelo,
he
did it with De Bruyne.
It's like he always brings him background, and you think Gundogan. You think, Gundogan's not a 6. He's not this. He's not that.
Bernardo.
And then it's like, oh yeah, no, this guy's actually world class. So shout out to Pep for knowing guys, just knowing how to get them in that zone. And when they play these 3 or 4 games, is always elite quality. And
he sent KDB out to warm up like 3 times.
Those are the mind games, but. Those are the mind games I kind of love from Pep.
And even Jurgen Klopp's talking about it now. Jurgen Klopp said that KDB went out to warm up and now the whole country's shaking.
It's true. So it's going to be a long day. It's going to be interesting to see where he plays Foden with KDB back because that 10 spot is KDB's. You'd like to think.
Well, he might play him deeper.
You think?
Yeah.
I think he could. He could. I wonder what KDB is going to be like though post injury. I don't know if he's going to be as locomotive as before.
That's why playing him deeper
you think
could help him.
Just now the surgeon.
Because I mean, nobody's questioning KDB's deep lying play.
Not at all.
Yeah,
especially with Haaland back.
And with the way Man City will dominate the game, if he picks up the ball on the edge of the box in 5 yards of space,
do you know what I can already see? A throw in deep in Man City's half. Yeah. KDB takes it with a no-touch turn and just sprays it outside of the foot, 70-yard diag.
Yeah. And Doku's gone.
Yeah. 1-on-1.
Yeah.
You know,
Holland's in the box, square goal.
Yeah, it's just how it goes. But I was gonna say just on my seat, man. Like I watched the game and I was, they're so, you know.
I think in my experience watching Premier League football, which is probably from about 2006 onwards, that's the best team I've seen. Or to be honest, maybe even in any competition, including Pep's Barca and that. This Man City team, I think, is the best team I've watched.
Do you know what I like but don't like is how plug and play it is. Like you have to give credit to guys like Oscar Bob coming on and doing 25-minute, 30-minute cameos and like
Rico Lewis,
drag back, reverse passes.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows the system. Everybody knows the triangles. Everybody knows who to trust in what position with the ball. And it's just such a well-run machine. And yeah, it doesn't matter if they're 5-7 points behind at this stage. Yeah. You know that they could always.
And I know. I predicted Man City to win the title at the start of the season. But if there was any hope that I did have, it was obviously no one's done four in a row before. Even Fergie couldn't do it. But I've got to a point now where I'm just kind of thinking like, I don't even think we can use stats for this Man
to quantify
City
this stuff. Yeah.
Like this, they've already shown that they can blow all of those stats out of the water.
The problem is, I'm obviously going to come on to Arsenal. Remember how I was saying that we just need to stay within 5 points of the title, you know, and come to that March to May period, just be within 5 points to see what happens. The problem is they're just getting KDB back. Haaland's just going to come back and, you know, hit the ground running again. So it's like they're the juggernaut to beat. They're the heavyweight champ. Yeah. Who just like does not want to go away. Who's still practicing as hard as ever. And the problem is Prep rotates and he's getting new guys in. Yeah. And like Alvarez wants his second. Yeah. And you know
that's
Doku wants his first.
To keep that team hungry. I mean, Pep is.
To be fair, I don't think you need to do much to keep Rodri hungry. I think he just wakes up and.
Yeah, but Rodri. No, I don't think we talk about Rodri the way we do if he doesn't play under Pep.
I agree, but
we talk about him as a great holding midfielder if he played under Klopp because Rodri just has undeniable quality.
I mean, Rodri under Klopp would also be
be a more. But the way Pep because Rodri's the most important piece in the whole team.
I was gonna say, but you would talk
about everything goes through Rodri.
What Pep's CDMs don't we talk about like that? Xavi Alonso, I don't think
Fernandinho was.
And Fernandinho gets his credit though. Top. We give him his credit.
Rodri's just.
I agree, but that's what I'm saying. This is the levels of
Xavi Alonso, Busquets, those kind of holding midfield players that Pep's managed.
I'd put Fernandinho in that because he's got 4 Prems or 3 Prems.
Yeah, bro. I had Fernandinho in my top 10 midfielders ahead of Yaya.
Fernandinho was cold,
but when you just look at the player,
I get it.
Fernandinho doesn't have what those other 3 players.
Rodri leaps through the air from a corner and just buries it, just puts it.
That's the thing.
Fernandinho's never done that.
Xabi Alonso and Busquets don't have.
Yeah.
Rodri scored the winning goal in the Champions League final.
Yeah, he'll just slap it from 30 yards.
A nice curve finish round the player into the bottom corner. I think, man, this Man City team is just. They're not only are they so well oiled, but it's just like the movements, the way players move within the team, the way players come into the team. Yeah, it's just it's different.
It's a long day.
And we still haven't seen Pep do his January fuck around yet and play Bernardo at left back and try and find a new way
Stones
to win the
might
league.
Be out again, and it just won't mount.
Yeah, but Akanji's just come in and doing the role.
Yeah, Ake played last game. He locked it down.
I mean. There's not too much to say, and it's just Man City doing what they do. I mean, but obviously we expect them to beat Shef U, but I think that
I was kind of hoping that they'll come out from the Club World Cup with a bug, something shaky. No, it's gonna. You just know that this could be the start of that 10-15 game run.
Exactly, and also they've come back and if they win their game in hand, they're 2 points behind Liverpool. Yeah.
Right.
So whereas they could have come back and Arsenal and Liverpool could have been 6 or 7 points clear.
Yeah.
Those players probably came back from the Club World Cup and are probably thinking, there's no way we can't win this league. These guys have let us come back.
Yeah.
And still be within 2 points. there's no way we can't win this league.
Yeah, the locomotion is going to be crazy.
They're giving it to us. So,
first.
But yeah, moving on from that game, Wolves versus Everton. Horrendous performance from Everton. It was 3-0, could have been 5 or 6.
The juice ran out. What's going on?
The clean sheet juice ran out. But no, man, Wolves are playing some good ball, man. They beat Brentford 4-1 earlier in the week.
Yeah.
Then went and beat Everton. And Mateus Cunha and Hwang. Balling out.
Been loving these Hwang points, man.
Yeah.
I think yeah, we've given Gary O'Neill a lot of credit this year and on this pod and again. So I just think he's done so well with this team. Like, you can't forget how Lopetegui was like, yeah, there's nothing here. I have to go.
Yeah.
Like he gave up
this team
on
can't
this.
compete.
Yeah, he gave up on this squad days before the season began. And, Gary O'Neill has them wherever they are, 12th or whatever the hell it is.
Yep.
Getting stuff out of Cunha, goals and assists out of Cunha for the past couple of weeks. Hwang has 10 goals. I saw something the other day. It's like he's not had 10 goals combined in his last 2 years.
Yeah.
And we're halfway through the season. And
Gary O'Neill actually came out and he said that when he came in, he didn't look at Hwang as the source of goals.
Yeah.
Which just means that obviously he had in his head, this team needs a goal scorer. But just the system that he's playing and the way he's coached these players. I mean, how many of those Wolves players would you say Gary O'Neill's made a better player?
Yeah, for sure. Cunha used to be the most frustrating. We said this earlier in the season about how frustrating Cunha is because he glides past people like they're not there.
Yeah.
He'll like create overloads, dish the ball off, and it's like a poor pass. Or shoots over the bar, So to add that to Cunha's game,
and this has all been without Neto. Neto only just came back.
Neto's only just come back. Even Sarabia, who wasn't like a bad player or nothing like that.
But he's brought him in.
Yeah, he's brought him in. He's getting something out of him as well.
Lamina.
Yeah, Lamina's their linchpin.
Yeah.
It doesn't work without Lamina in midfield. Dawson he's getting the best out of Dawson.
Yeah.
So and Aït-Nouri's also just kind of come back.
And as a manager, that's one of the most important things you need to do. Is when people ask, has he made so and so better? Has he made X, Y, and Z a better player?
Yeah,
that's one of the most important things you have to do as a manager. And I think Gary O'Neill's done that with almost all of his players.
Yeah, it gives
they all look like they're playing better than they were last year.
It gives it gives him a lot of it should give him a lot of credit in the bank going into transfer windows of like, if you give me quality players, if you give me a squad to work with, we can actually really move up this ladder and like not just settle for finishing just out of relegation.
Yeah, and also for him to go from Bournemouth, do the job he did at Bournemouth and keep them up
in the miracle,
and they go to Wolves and kind of carry it on.
Yeah, and he lost
we're seeing Steven Gerrard coach in Saudi.
Yeah,
we're seeing Frank Lampard get the Birmingham job after Rooney's just been sacked. Rumors are Frank Lampard's going to take that job.
Yeah.
But Gary O'Neill, no doubt, if whatever happens at Wolves, he'll find another Prem team.
Yeah, for sure. He has the quality. Somebody just needs to believe in him and give him a project and let him see it out for two or 3 years. Because he definitely... And on top of just like... They're playing good football. Like Wolves. And they have that Molineux were tough to beat.
Yep.
The crowd get up for it. Yep. They've beat City there. They've beat a lot of teams
Tottenham.
there. Yeah. It's like, we're not just going to roll over.
Chelsea.
So, fair play to them for sure.
Yeah.
Fair play to Gary O'Neill.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll move on from that game to Nottingham Forest versus Man United. Man United's 9th Premier League loss of the season. I think 12 in all competitions. And Forest took the lead before Matt Turner decided that he was a Man United fan.
We need to do a Matt Turner Fotheringham watch week on week in this pod.
Okay, yeah.
I think they're in direct competition to be the shittest goalkeeper in the Premier League.
They are. Matt Turner takes it this week.
Yeah. Fotheringham did his best though.
Yeah, but there wasn't really much he could do about the 2 goals. So we can't cuss him out about that.
The anxiety when Fotheringham has the ball at his feet in the stadium is
Matt Turner. Do you see when he kicked it up in the air and it came back to him and he caught it? Guys playing basketball.
But I wonder what Arsenal was seeing in Matt Turner for him to be our second keeper. Like we can't even trust the guy in FA Cup games. Anyway,
he has to get dropped.
But he won't.
He has to get
Nuno's going to keep him. He made a couple of saves at the end.
No, I think
keep him in. Nuno was a goalkeeper himself. Like he knows
exactly.
If I drop Matt Turner, he's never coming back. Mentally.
Yeah, but the next guy, the other guy, can be decent.
Nah. They saw enough of him.
Who wants Matt Turner to come back?
The thing about Matt Turner is he's also got I don't know, man. I don't even know the next guy's name. He's got the marketability. He's American. Instagram handle is Head Turner.
He's in Nottingham, bro.
Like,
I spent 3 years there.
There's no
much
marketability there. I just know Nuno's not gonna drop him, and Nuno's gonna come in and just say, "All right, man, you're the number one.
Yeah,
you're, not club record signing, but we spent 10 million in whatever the hell it was.
Yeah,
how ridiculous that is. Yeah, but go on. I'll let you finish.
But yeah, I think so obviously he gives the ball away. Rashford scores. They make it 1-1. It was a good finish from Rashford as well.
Yeah.
But within 3 minutes, they're down the other end. The ball gets cut back to Gibbs White. And you didn't actually see this,
That's
but
what
you just had the commentator.
Yeah, I didn't actually see this. I was, to give you too much information, I was on the toilet when Man United scored because I thought...
Otherwise indisposed.
Yeah, I was indisposed at the time. And all I hear is, Gibbs White! I come rushing back down. Yeah.
And then the Forest crowd.
And I see him, it's always good when you see the player at the corner flag tapping the badge,
yeah.
giving it all that. And I'm like, I can't believe... I can't say I can't believe that United have given it up. I could genuinely believe it, but I still couldn't quite believe 3 minutes, for example. At least let it be a 97th minute. They've stolen. But to just give it up, to just say, we don't really want these 3 points.
Yeah,
we don't even want a final finish.
Within 3 minutes of equalising,
we don't even want a showdown at the end. Just take them. just take them.
And a good, brilliant finish from Morgan Gibbs White.
And Elanga
finish outside the box.
This
Elanga revenge tour.
Elanga doing the business.
Yeah, pointing to the badge.
That hug on Nuno at the end.
Yeah.
Passion.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
See his interview afterwards.
No.
What was he saying? He was saying, I'm Man United. Wasn't really getting the game time that I thought I maybe should have got. I didn't really feel appreciated there, but I've come here and I had a point to prove today. And you proved that, Anthony.
Fighting talk.
You proved that. You got the assist. You showed that you were the best winger on the pitch that day, and that your old club should have kept you. Mistake number 74 from Erik Ten Hag.
Yeah. Would you like?
But I think Morgan Gibbs White as well. The thing that I was going to mention was that there was the audio of them before the game, or it might have been at half time even.
So...
And Morgan Gibbs White is to the whole Nottingham Forest team, look at them. They don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Embarrassing, Man United. Embarrassing.
But it's true that
opposition players know you don't want to turn up for this.
It's true, and it is embarrassing. Yeah. It is very embarrassing. But it's
we've
true.
Been there.
It's true. We've been there. No, we've been there, and it's true. Would you want to be in the Man United dressing room? It must be who you hanging out with? What's going on? Everybody's head is down. Rashford's
I'd be hanging out with Jadon Sancho.
yeah. Well, you'd be in the yacht.
Yeah.
You'd be in the yacht.
I'd be like, this manager sucks, bro.
Giving Nottingham Forest their credit, man, to be Man United and just know that whatever happens this season, we can win a game or we'll lose the next one, no matter who it is. They could beat Man City tomorrow and lose to Luton, lose to Burnley.
Yeah,
that inconsistency, we've been there.
Yeah,
that season where we finished 8th, we could have had 15 losses, 15 wins.
Yeah, and the thing that with and we'll move on to Man United here. And the thing with Man United is that I remember Arsenal's last season under Arsene Wenger, and we won 3 away games all season. And there was just a rotting mentality in the squad.
Yeah,
of going away from home.
Yeah.
And the crowd getting up for it, and we just bottle it,
and
we just wouldn't stand up to it. And Man United have that. Erik Ten Hag has instilled that in the Man United team, that we are a bunch of bottlers and we will go away from home and just get beat easily. That first half was dry again. Man United are one of the worst teams to watch in the Premier League.
And you should be sticking it to Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
The reason they've sacked the managers is because they're worried that they're going to be in and around.
Exactly.
You should show them you are going to be in and around. you know?
Exactly. We're going to put you in and around. Yeah. But there was no kind of intensity from Man United. And
it's game after game after
Forest
game.
Knew that game was there for the taking. Anytime Man United go away from home, I know that
West Ham was the same thing.
Exactly.
That game is for the take, especially when it gets to 0-0 around the 60th minute. I just know United are going to lose that game.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to be a hero.
Yeah.
And I think the most concerning thing for Man United, I was having this conversation with my friends This could be a topic for another week about like Nunes and Højlund and all this kind of stuff. And guys were saying that, Højlund doesn't get service, and I hear that to a certain extent. And they were saying that teams are coming up to United and playing deep blocks. And I'm like, are they playing deep blocks?
Yeah.
I feel like teams are coming to United and thinking, don't worry, we can play football here.
We'll press you.
Yeah, we can. We could put men into
you lot suck.
We could put men into the opponent's field. And I think coming on to Ten Hag as well, man, some of those decisions, taking Kobe Mainoo off, bringing McTominay on, just leaving a vacuum in midfield, and then playing like a basketball game. Yeah, like that can only.
I think those decisions as well. Man United fans are on to Ten Hag about taking Kobe Mainoo off, but then
I hear it, but not for McTominay.
Yeah, when you're winning, nobody really cares what your manager has to say in the press conference afterwards, right? Because you've just won.
He's just going to make
3 points. You're enjoying yourself. Whatever he has to say, you listen to it. It's cool. It's nice. But when you're losing and you're down in the dumps, everyone's tuning in, right? Or me at least,
as a fan,
because I want to know, what's my manager doing about this? Right. So when we were there, I was watching those Arteta interviews. Like, what's he saying about this? Where are we going? And I think that's where Ten Hag is really letting himself down and really allowing the fans to turn on him
back.
Because. Okay, he's come out and he's told the truth in the fact that the Kobe Mainoo substitution was tactical, no injury related.
Why does he always come out and say, "Yeah, this was tactical"?
Yeah, that provides. But then he also comes out and is saying stuff like, "Oh, we played well, we created chances, they had 2 shots and scored and whatever." Which again is going to annoy Man United fans because they watch the game. Nobody thinks Man United played well.
Yeah.
And then he also just has this thing of like, he'll come out and he'll say, "Oh yeah, when we get our players back, we'll start winning games." Brother, if you get those players back and you do not start winning games, that is so sackable.
Yeah, it's also
you can't come out and say, "When I get my players back, we'll win games."
It's also it's match week 18. Like that excuse is always going to be around.
They've won 10 and lost 9.
That's crazy. That excuse is always going to be around. And Arsenal, it's the same excuse, but like when it comes to when it's match week 27, you can't be saying, "Oh yeah, when we get our players back, we'll start winning games." Bro, this season has come and gone. Like, do something for me now.
Yeah, we're past halfway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, teams are coming back around. And I hear it. You got injuries, but everybody's got injuries. And
the only one I think, I don't think he would make a massive difference in terms of like results and where United are in the league, but I think he would make quite a big difference to the way they play. Is Lisandro?
But I was gonna say
because Man United cannot. Onana's their best player on the ball in their back 4 or 5.
I agree with you. Lisandro makes a big difference, but who partners Lisandro now that he's fallen out with Varane?
Maguire.
So he does Lisandro and Maguire.
I think that will be his. Yeah.
That is Jekyll and Hyde almost, because Lisandro's good on the ball. He wants it. Yeah. He wants to play higher up the pitch. He can do that. Maguire wants the opposite. He wants the deep block. He wants to head it out.
Maguire can help him in the air.
So, but that means you're playing like, if you're going to be doing the pressing game and having Lisandro in the build up and stuff, I guess you have no other choice, but you have to trust Maguire to do stuff that he's not good at. I mean, like, that's what it works with Lisandro and Varane. It works.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Varane's got the pace.
Yeah.
And
but to be fair, it might be Lisandro and Johnny Evans.
And that's like, come on. So I'm saying these are the problems that Ten Hag has, and a lot of it is his own downfall for falling out with Varane. Whatever he's done with Varane, what's going on? Like extending Lindelof.
Yeah.
Like
they're not extending Varane.
Like the fans need to see more of Lindelof. I think Lindelof is not terrible, but in times like this, you don't want to be hearing, "Yeah, Lindelof has got an What?
Yeah, where Lindelof needs that 1-year extension. Yeah,
Regulon's going back to
going back already. but that's a smart move from Man United. Do not sign Regulon.
Don't sign Regulon long term, but let him finish the season. Malacia's not back yet.
I'm surprised they're sending him back so early.
It's not trustworthy. It's not like Shaw's going to be fit to the end of the season.
Yeah,
Shaw could roll over his ankle, blowing kisses to his wife tomorrow morning, and be out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So I just think that I'm almost, not really, but almost coming to the point where I feel for United fans.
No,
because anytime they get any bit of like, "Yeah, we're back, we're United, we can build from here," it comes crashing right down. Yeah. And that is Ten Hag.
That's the best part.
And it is the best part. It is the best part.
we'll say this. Obviously, we haven't had a pod for 2 weeks or whatever. And me and Michael met up over that period, and we were talking about, because even at my family Christmas dinner, I got told by a couple Man United fans that we shit on Man United. We hate Man United. Yeah. Steven told us we shit on Man United a lot. The thing is, Man United have been shit.
Yeah,
like it's not like, okay, so like if Tottenham, we're not shitting on Tottenham.
Yeah,
like whenever we speak about Tottenham, we give them their praise and whatever.
Yeah,
but you've been shit, so we have to talk shit. But Michael, I was saying to Michael, you're relentless with it, and Michael was saying, and this I actually heard this point. You were like, yeah, but when Man United are in this phase, you have to take every opportunity.
You do have to take every opportunity.
And the thing about it is, I would not be, but Man United fans are onto Arsenal for losing back-to-back games. What? Like, look at the table, man.
What I'll say is,
check your mirrors.
I only feel a little bit of sympathy, and I only say this in the pod now for United fans, because I know that the worst is yet to come. Yeah. Once you realize,
but I don't feel that sympathy, because they said at the start of the season that Ten Hag would have them in a title race.
Do you know what? I remember there was one away game in that Arsene Wenger era at it could maybe have been the Emery at West Brom, where we just like completely blew the game up.
Yeah.
And lost.
Yeah.
I think we got a red card and gave away like a stupid penalty, and we just lost. And I remember that day being like, oh yeah, we're not like a threat, or we're not like a top 4 threat to these teams anymore. Teams can just come and have us.
Yeah.
And once you don't have that basement, that like floor of like, Arsenal always used to be like, yeah, we're a top 4 club regardless.
Yeah.
And I feel like United have that. They've just like, somebody's pulled that away from them, and now they're just reeling.
Yeah.
And they've just realized, and they throw like more shit into people's faces, like, oh yeah, you're Saka, where is he?
Yeah.
But it's only because they're
where's Anthony?
Yo, it's too easy with United now. Actually.
Yeah.
It's too easy.
Yeah,
but I will be here to put that knife in.
That's the thing is, once Emery had left and Arteta had come in, there was an acceptance, and we'll talk about this when we talk about Arsenal, because I think Arsenal fans on Twitter,
man,
me and you, like, don't group us together, right? We are not the same as the Arsenal fans on Twitter.
Go on.
But Man United, we never once thought or said Arteta is gonna win the league at Arsenal coming into a season. Like, just finished the back of last season. It's pre-season now. Are Arsenal going to win the league? Arsenal going to challenge for the league? We never once said it. Even last year, I said at the start of the season, I didn't think we'd get top 4.
Yeah.
Because Tuchel was at Chelsea.
I was saying it was going to take 6.
Yeah, there were other teams around us that I thought were probably better than us still, right? But Man United fans at the start of this season,
for just challenge,
third in
right?
the trophy last year,
just challenge,
back in the Champions League. We're going to go and challenge for the league.
That's my point. They thought that was their flaw. Like,
and that is my issue.
Yeah.
If you're going to say that, you now need to hold the smoke when it comes.
I love that Man United fans are like, we were never going to win things anyway. That's their mentality now.
Yeah.
Like, this was always a transition.
And now they're saying, you still think you're going to win the league? I never said we were going to win the league. Don't spin it on me. I never said that. That was you, man, saying that.
How do you think it shakes out with Ineos, Ten Hag moving forward for United? Like, do you think it's honestly just going to be this?
I think United fans...
Or do you think they honestly put a run together of like, we win 5 games, 6 games on the bounce?
No. They can't do that. They're not good enough to do that. They don't have a manager good enough to do that. But
then that's so damning for them, though. That's he has to go. If you can't fix this and win 5 games in a row to put them in the top 5 contention, top 6 contention.
Yeah. Do you think he can win 5 games in a row?
I don't.
They just beat Villa.
I don't.
At home,
playing Evans and Maguire and all these kind of guys, you're not going to win. McTominay and all these, asking Eriksen to come back and now still be some sort of box to box.
Yeah,
like
I think if United fans are really honest with themselves, even the Ten Hag till I die section,
guys,
right? If they are really honest with themselves, deep down, they want Ineos to come in and sack him.
Yeah, they do,
because then they can say, oh, Ineos have come in. They want their mass changes. They're changing everything. They want their guy. Oh, look, Newcastle did it with Steve Bruce and they brought in Eddie Howe. There's new ownership. Everything's changed. New director of football. And they can use that as their excuse for ultimately Ten Hag just failing.
But in many ways, when you look at it right now, in many ways, it does need to be cleaned out. Like, there is a lot of there is a lot.
Ten Hag needs
to
be sacked because he's whack.
Yeah, there's a lot of rubbish. Like, but once Ten Hag goes, like Malacia and all of these guys that he signed,
Lissandro,
all of these guys that he signed,
Amrabat.
There needs to be a clean out.
I think, and I want to get onto this, right? So Ten Hag currently I think he has a worse record than Gary Neville at Valencia for this season. And I wanted to ask you has Ten Hag's period at Man United, I know they won a trophy, right? But at least this season, is it worse than Ollie?
It's yeah. You mean this just for this season?
Let's take all of Ollie's tenure, and all of Ten Hag's tenure.
Ollie didn't win a trophy, did he?
Yeah. So that's the one thing that Ten Hag can say. But
you know what? Do you know what?
The vibes under Ollie.
There was vibes under Ollie, but you know, Ollie had that.
They went to the Etihad and won.
Ollie had that Europa League final loss though.
Yeah.
That was
to Villarreal.
They should have come out cruising in that game. I think the problem is it's opposites. Yeah,
I don't think the way Man United play.
Only they had more of an idea. They were going to be a counter-attacking team. That they were going to be, and fans didn't like that because we're Man United and we should be crossing But Ollie knew that we have to be a counter-attacking team to get any sort of points on the board. Ten Hag's team, I think as well, the players definitely played for Ollie. They were like Ollie didn't really have a game plan to make them good enough to compete in seasons, but they played for him in the extent that whenever Ollie's job was on the line, no matter who it was, City, Barcelona, whatever it was, PSG, they'll pull out a result.
Ten Hag can't get out of the group stage.
Everybody's running 10K. You know, with Ten Hag, I think that's what it is now. When Morgan Gibbs White is saying they don't want to be here, like I don't know if guys are like, I'm gonna run 10K for Ten Hag.
Yeah.
So to answer your question bluntly, I don't know if recency bias is getting ahead of me. But actually, no, I'd say Ollie's is worse.
Yeah.
Just because of that Europa League final loss, that's what sticks out for me.
Yeah,
fair. That was like they had to win that.
So now I'm just gonna read you Ten Hag's record this season compared to David Moyes' season at Man United. Yeah, Man United fans, stay tuned for this. Listen to this. Both played 20 games.
Yeah.
Both in 7th place.
This is when Moyes got sacked.
Yeah. Well, this was after 20 games.
Okay.
But Moyes was only there for one season.
Okay.
Right? So the same amount of games played. Moyes 34 points. Ten Hag 31. Goals scored, Moyes 33. Goals scored, Ten Hag 22. They scored less goals than Luton this season. And goals conceded, Moyes 24. And Ten Hag 27. But the points thing, David Moyes had 3 more points after 20 games this season. And there's no doubt Moyes was worse than Ollie.
Yeah. Moyes,
I think this is, and I mean, Culture Cam said this, he's a Man United fan. I think this is the worst it's been post Fergie.
For United?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna disagree because it's bad now. Like I'm going into games thinking you're going to lose this.
Yeah.
Like and as it happens before your eyes, as much as you love it, and there is a little bit of shock, you're not that shocked that they've lost it. But if Ten Hag loses another big final, if he gets to a final and then loses it, or if he has another big sort of, if he has a 7-0 to be fair, which could be as bad as any final loss. I don't know. I just think with Ollie, we knew as a manager fundamentally he does not have it to hang at this level.
Yeah.
And I think Ten Hag, it's starting to look that way. But
no, it is that way.
It's starting to look that way. But
it is that way.
I also kind of think that Ten Hag is I think his failings is different. I think he doesn't have the personality to manage Manchester United or to manage a club of that ilk. He can't deal with the commercial stuff. He can't deal with Jadon Sancho bitching out. He can't deal with Varane. He can't deal with Casemiro. He can't get guys into shape and tell guys here 3 days play football. I think that's more so, and everything else centers from the fact that he can't get it done on the pitch at all though. No, but I think that all seeps into him not getting it done on the pitch because he can't even use his tools. He can't use Sancho. He can't use these guys.
Sancho's a tool.
He can't use, but all of these guys that he's chased to play a certain style.
Sancho's a broken screwdriver.
But I, look, regardless, Sancho's been shit for United. But, and I'm not here to say that there is a player in there, obviously, but I'm just saying that we don't even know what system or what, like, the additional systems Ten Hag could have tried to have used I'm saying
I'm not hearing the Sancho.
I'm not. It's not
makes a difference. Argument.
It's not about Sancho makes a difference. It's about having you have a squad full of talented footballers, and you're a manager as Erik Ten Hag, and you can't even scheme or make every sort of schematic possible to get this team to play football. You only have your friends.
because he's whack.
But it's not even about him being whack. Okay, he's whack. Yes, he's whack. But a lot of the reason as to why he's whack is he doesn't even have the relationships with the players or the fans or even the people internally to get the best out of the squad. He's already handicapped himself from his personality alone. At least Ollie could go to anybody in that squad, put his arm around him and be like, I need you on the weekend.
Get them to play for it.
I need you on the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, Ten Hag can't even do that. At the bare minimum, he can't even go to everybody in that dressing room. He's got guys who he's tried to kick out, who he now needs every week. And all of this kind of stuff makes him limited as a manager. And it's like, he didn't have the chops from the jump to handle the pressure in the media, and he's coming out and he's lashing out at players in the media, and there's certain players he's babying. He's from the beginning, he shot himself in the foot with how he's going to be able to use this team. So it's not about Sancho can come save the season. Same thing with Lisandro. Lisandro comes back. Who's his partner? He's filling out with Varane.
Yeah.
Like now, what are you going to be doing tactically with Lisandro and Evans? Evans is 36. Yeah, done.
Yeah, but
Lisandro is trying to enter his prime, and you're trying to partner him with Johnny Evans and play football where on the halfway line or as a deep block. Lisandro doesn't want deep block football. He doesn't want guys on top of him. Johnny Evans doesn't want it on the halfway line, and that's all the manager not being able to have the personality to deal with Varane and to deal with Casemiro and to deal with put Casemiro, Lisandro, and Varane together, and the only reason he can't do that is personal reasons.
Yeah.
And it's like obviously Lisandro's injured, but even Casemiro and Ten Hag, they've had their little suspensions, and he needs to do more in this and that. I need more football, and
the thing is, I would say that's been a problem, right? His player management and falling out with players, but you can fall out with players and still score more goals than Luton.
True, no, and that's where I agree with you. That's where I agree with you. Like he's made bold decisions and got them wrong.
Yeah,
not seen any upside.
Yeah,
like Anthony and Martial stick for 3 weeks, and it's like he's just letting Martial run all over him. And I'm not saying that Martial would run over many managers because he just doesn't care.
He just has been ill for 3 weeks.
But this is
they asked Ten Hag, where's Martial? He said he's still ill.
Like
I've never seen a football player miss 3 weeks of football because of illness.
So Martial was poor under Ollie, but he had the bare.
He had
respect.
one of his best seasons under Ollie.
He had the bare minimum respect of
Bubble Martial
to turn up to training, to lounge around on the bench at least. To lounge like Martial is at a stage where he's like, I don't even care about lounging around on the bench. Fuck this guy. I'm out. I'm sick. I'm still coughing. What?
Well, how can honestly being ill for 3 weeks, man? He just doesn't want to come training.
So I think there's a lot of things that have let Ten Hag down. His decisions on the football pitch, are largely to that. But I think what I would really attribute a lot of it to is like his personality to be a Manchester United manager was not a happy marriage that United fans thought it was going to be, and like the longevity of his ability to deal with players has limited him tactically as a manager. And now, as you're saying, like, bringing McTominay on and asking him to do whatever it is you're asking him to do, you tried to sell him in the summer.
Yeah.
And now you're saying, come be my hero.
Yeah. And I think for me, it's just, I take some pleasure in the fact that after they lost to Arsenal and Mikel Arteta handed Ten Hag his arse on a plate, he came out, cussed out Jadon Sancho, and it's just been downhill since then. They haven't been able to recover from the whooping Mikel Arteta gave them.
And every week, Sancho earns whatever he earns, and he thinks, I'm right. He's
going back to Dortmund.
Yeah, it's crazy.
On loan.
It's crazy.
Man. But we'll move on. Yeah. We'll move on. United fans know they're down bad. But to Fulham versus Arsenal. Yeah. Arsenal's second loss in the space of a couple of days. Awful performance, worst Arsenal performance of the season.
Yeah,
probably the worst Arsenal performance in a while. And the problem I had in this game, compared to the West Ham game, is the West Ham game. We had the chances, we didn't take them. West Ham defended well. You can kind of have those games where West Ham just they got every bit of luck. Everything kind of went for them. They defended well, and their game plan was just. Everything went perfectly for them, right? And on another day, Arsenal win that game 9 times out of 10. In this game, what annoyed me, Fulham didn't even have to play well to win the game.
Yeah.
Fulham were maybe at 60, 70%, and they won the game.
Yeah, if as well as going ahead in the game.
Yeah.
And like just giving it up so easily, and not putting. Sort of the team didn't put a fight to get back on level terms, but as I was saying to you just before we started recording, it's like in both games, West Ham and the Fulham game, it's like they went 2-0 up and they went 2-1 ahead with like half an hour plus to play. And I just didn't feel as if we were like beating down the door, trying our best to get a goal. And I get
the keeper
it.
wasn't making saves.
That's what I'm saying. It's like if the keeper's a hero at the end of the day, and kind of like, I know they lost the game, but like Dubravka was making some crazy saves yesterday.
Yeah.
If that's the case, it's an easier pill for me to swallow than the just like lackadaisical pass back and forth, have a shot every 10 minutes. Like
then try and force a pass through.
Just
take it.
And then Arteta brings Reece on, and we have like 3 central defenders and like 7 attacking players. And I'm like, I get it. This is the 10 minutes now at the end, but if we had done more earlier on, if as soon as we went down a goal, we start moving it quicker. Maybe miss a man out. Don't do the whole like Ben White passes to Rice.
It's so slow.
Rice
it's so slow. The football's been so slow.
The performance has been painful to watch, and I think that's the most disappointing thing for me. It's like we can like, I get it, man. Where games are just going to be lost. The Barclays Premier League, West Ham are a good team. They'd won the similar games that we had coming into that game, and even Fulham, man. Fulham away, it's like it's a game. Okay, we should get 3 points there for sure.
Yeah,
but just the performances and the lack of urgency when we're goals down with minutes to go to get shots away, make something happen. Like we're banking on 1 or 2 clear cut chances, rather than like really knocking down keepers' doors. And I think that was the worst. I think that's the worst thing.
Yep, I agree. And I think for the West Ham game, there's nothing more Arteta can do to win that game. Arteta's done everything he can, and the players on the pitch just haven't taken the chances. But in the Fulham game, I think Arteta's got to take a bit of blame there for not doing enough to kind of change the play style.
Do something.
Like even the West Ham game as well, but we created chances in that game anyway. But especially this Fulham game, I was just watching it, and the ball goes to Martinelli or it goes to Saka, and I'm just screaming for someone to overlap them. Like when Liverpool play, and this was so evident last night, and obviously we'll talk about Liverpool, but Diaz or Salah would get it, and Szoboszlai, Trent,
it's busting along.
Even Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez is, and he knows no one's passing to.
He's
Joe
never
Gomez
getting the ball
to cross with his left foot.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing that, but he's busting a gut just to create a 1v1. Whereas for Arsenal, Ben White hangs back, Kiwi or Zinchenko, whoever it is in midfield, and the wingers are always 2v1. He's screaming for an overlap to just create some separation, create some space, and do something. So I think a bit of blame there for Mikel Arteta, but for me, I mean, the overreaction is insane.
It is.
It's typical Arsenal. I expected it. I expected Arsenal fans to just go nuts and title race over. We're in a top 4 race. Like I personally don't believe any of that. I don't agree with any of that. Arsenal are still in this title race, in my opinion. And I don't know what you think.
No, I think the hysteria is so annoying. I think it just
Arsenal fans don't really have the minerals to be in a title race.
We don't. I think there is. I think it just comes out of desperation to get a Premier League trophy. Yeah. But like
and because it's not going the same way it went last year.
Yeah. And we were saying this off air. Like last year, we have to just like put that away. Yeah. That's going to be one of the greatest Arsenal seasons. Maybe not in a while, but like that we've seen definitely for a while. Yeah. And it was almost fever dream-esque where
it's probably the greatest for the last decade or so.
Yeah, 100%. Everything was going in.
Yeah.
Thomas Partey's long shots, crashing into, nestling in. Yeah. Everything went our way. We were playing fluid football, and it can't always be that way or be that easy. Yeah. Like this time last year, we were sharing the goals around between Jesus, Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard. And like those are the same 4 players, it's just not quite clicking.
What's getting me is people putting up comps of last year and saying, "Oh, last year was a fever dream." Like we're never gonna get back there. But and those guys call that was Mikel Arteta's team.
That's what I don't like though. Guys are like, oh, we need to get he's never gonna win it. We need to get somebody else in to get us over the line. Like the reason Odegaard got 15, the reason Martinelli got 15 was because Mikel Arteta.
The reason Saka's who he is.
yeah. I think the Asterio just shows that we're a little bit like entitled and spoiled of like, I don't know. We just assume that now that we have a good team, we should just run away with it, win every game, win the league by however many points. And I feel not bad for the players, but it's like also like, for example, Zinchenko will put in 2 bad performances, and it's like he's got to go.
Yeah,
Zinchenko's done.
That's it. See how much we missed.
And we talk about the fever dream of last year. That was Zinchenko was a huge part of that.
Yep.
Like huge, massive part of that. And it's like, oh well, he's done. Let's give you put him in there, sell Zinchenko in the summer, or like as soon as Timber comes back and
I think the major problem for Arsenal is that maybe 6 or 7 of the players aren't playing to the level they played at last year.
Yeah.
Which you could say, oh, Mikel's not, but we know Mikel can get the best out of these guys. So it's on these guys to just kind of up their form, really. Go on.
I actually agree with Gary Neville, who made the point that, and I rarely do, but he made the point that like Arsenal's forwards, and he said this after the Liverpool-Arsenal game, same thing with Liverpool forwards at the time. He was like, they don't make too many passes between each other or connections between each other. And I think that is a massive difference. Like, whenever Saka gets the ball, it's like he either has 1 or 2 passes. It's back to Ben White, if he makes the overlap, or Odegaard or Trossard in the pocket. And it's never a ball into Jesus, or it's never, the switch to Martinelli. They just need to make more passes between each other, more combinations between each other. And whenever Jesus does get the ball and pin a defender and tries to roll it off to Saka, we look dangerous, but it just never happens anywhere near enough with any sort of frequency. How many times have you seen Martinelli break away from his guy, but not have somebody to hit in the box, or not have Jesus close enough to him, so he checks back and cuts it to Zinchenko or to Havertz or whoever it is who's like at the top of the key. Like it happens just way too often. Like I need Jesus to be there for a 1-2, or I need somebody to be there so he can flash it across. I also kind of have slightly a problem with Jesus because even sometimes when we do get the one-on-ones, he's just never between the sticks. And like there's no one there to aim at, and we've got to cut back because you just don't want to give the ball away. And that's all it is. That's all it is. Like if sometimes Jesus is a bit more in between the sticks and a threat for the central defenders, and Martinelli Saka have someone to aim at, or there's a little bit more combination play, and you can do a 1-2, get more shots off on goal that are cleaner cut and not like 3 or 4 guys in the way. We score 2 goals or 3 goals in the last 2 games, and we don't come out with 0 points. We come out with 4 points or whatever it is, and that's just like. And the season's not over. The title's not over. We're all
But I think the thing is, and I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, is that Arsenal fans just, for some reason, expect it to be easy. And expect it to, and are almost treating it as though it's Arsenal's title to lose.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, man.
And I wanted to do this briefly here, because like we've both said that we think Man City are going to win the league. And for me, I'm not going to feel any type of way if Man City win this and Arsenal don't. The only way that I'm going to be a bit angry or annoyed and maybe question Mikel a bit, but not to the point where he should go at all, is if Liverpool win it. Because if Liverpool win it,
we feel like we're a better team than them.
I don't know if I can really accept. I know Liverpool have had players that have won the league and stuff and whatever, but I don't think they will. Right? I think Man City will win it. And how many Arsenal players do you think get in the Man City? If both teams have their strongest 11, how many Arsenal players do you reckon get into the Man City team?
One of our central defenders will.
You'd have Edison.
You'd have
Kyle
Edison.
Walker.
Yeah.
I think for me personally, I'd have Gabriel and Stones.
Yeah, you leave Saliba out.
I think
Stones can do the
Stones
can do the Saliba thing.
But I agree with one of them would be in there, right?
Yeah,
so that's one player. I think at left back it would probably be Ake,
whoever they play,
whoever they want to put there, right? If we're being real,
Tomiyasu.
Actually, you know what? I'll give it Tomiyasu. I would give it Tomiyasu. So Gabriel and Tomiyasu.
Yeah.
Rodri would obviously be in there.
Yeah.
De Bruyne would obviously be in there. I think Declan Rice would be in there.
Yeah.
I think if you were just picking the best 3 players
to be in the midfield,
and you could have Rodri, Rice, and
KDB. Yeah.
And you know how much I rate Thomas Partey, but Thomas Partey can't play further forward.
I agree.
And he's not going to get in over
Rodri.
So at the moment, you got Gabriel, Tomiyasu, and Rice.
Yeah.
Probably have Saka on the right.
Yeah.
And then you'd have Haaland. And at the moment, probably
Alvarez or someone.
A Doku or an Alvarez or
Bernardo. So it depends on who's the manager, because I think
I personally would still go with Martinelli. I still think Martinelli's gonna
gives you that something.
He's gonna come.
That's a biased opinion. I agree with you, but that's a biased opinion.
Non-penalty league goals at the age of 21,
and just leave it at that.
If you're not a very good player.
No, I agree with you, but that is a biased
let's say
opinion.
Bernardo Silva.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Someone
Foden or does whatever, right? That's 4 Arsenal players.
Yeah,
compared to 7 Man City.
And that is also the thing. It's
and that's my point. So to expect Arsenal to win the league
or to run away with it,
yeah, it's so mind-boggling to me.
I think if we ever do win the league, it's going to be, as an Arsenal fan, lifetime Arsenal fan, I know it's going to be in the most dramatic fashion.
Yeah,
the most dramatic fashion at the very last day.
Yeah.
We'll
go 1-0 down.
Yeah. It comes down to it's going to take every ounce of life that you have to be an Arsenal fan to go through the trophy, and it will very rarely be the Liverpool. We just
just storm out in front.
By Christmas it's wrapped up and it's done. And as I've been saying all season, we're only 5 points off top.
Exactly.
Only 5 points off top. And if you're going to pretend as if Liverpool and City...
And we got to play Liverpool at the Emirates.
And if you pretend as if Liverpool and City are not going to lose another game till the end of the season, you're delusional. Yeah. But we can't excuse the fact that we've been poor.
Yeah, I'm not excusing that. It's been... and the thing is, the West Ham game, I know we lost that game, and I'm saying we played well, so that one I can almost put to the side had we beaten Fulham.
Yeah, exactly.
Fulham,
it makes it a bit more of an issue when we beat...
2 L's in a row.
And one of the things I wanted to touch on as well is, I don't know what you think about this January transfer window, because I'm not expecting anything.
Yeah.
But I was speaking to guys, or not speaking to guys, but there is this sense, I think, on Twitter, or just speaking to a couple of guys of we're either just going to go by a striker or go by a winger or go by a central defender and a left back and come back with 3 different signings. I'm fully expecting us not to make any signings.
Yeah.
At all. Unless somebody goes out.
Yeah.
Or a loan.
I think that's likely. I think someone can go.
Who do you think? So I was going to ask, obviously...
I think Reece or Eddie. I think...
Woo.
Yeah, I think one of them will go. But I can see us not signing anyone. And the only reason I say that is because from what we know of Mikel, he's not going to sign someone for the sake of signing
someone.
If he can't get the guy he wants, he won't sign someone.
Yeah.
Right? So I think the rumours at the minute are Onana at Everton, from a midfield signing, obviously Ivan Toney, and that Ousmane Diomande at Sporting for a defensive signing.
Yeah.
If he can't get one of those 3,
he's not going to do it.
He's not. I don't think
Everton are not going to give up on Onana.
But apparently, because of the financial situation that they're in, they might. And but like I say, I think the rumors coming out about, and this could be Arsenal being coy and being clever and saying, we're FFP, we don't have money to spend and whatever, to get Brentford to lower it to 60, 70 million or whatever. It could be them being coy. But if that is true, obviously, if you sell an academy player, there's pure profit.
Yeah.
And that's why I think Reece or Eddie could go. I think he will keep Smith Rowe and give Smith Rowe a bit long, because I think
people are saying Smith Rowe is going to go. I would be shocked. Sorry, I'd be shocked if Eddie goes, because Arteta's given Eddie game time and trust and constantly sung his praises, and so I would be kind of shocked if Eddie goes, unless it is to finance a move for Tony. I was going to say that
he won't get rid of Eddie without bringing in a striker.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
And I with all our attackers seemingly off form, it makes you feel like we 100% need an attacker. We might 100% need an attacker either way. I probably would agree that we need an attacker either way, but when Saka isn't really quite there for 90-minute performances and Martinelli isn't really hitting the numbers and Odegaard isn't even it makes you think, can we do it without that? But
for me, it has to be a striker. I've said this for a while. For me, it has to be a striker. If Arsenal want to win the league this season, the only way they do that is if they sign a striker.
I would agree with you, but there has to be a bagsman.
Yeah,
they have to come in and you've got January. You have to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Like you there is no time to delay. There is no time to like sort your feet out.
Yeah. I mean, Jamie Carragher.
I think Tony would be too expensive.
Yeah, probably. But Jamie Carragher made the point the other day. He was like talking about the 4 forward players: Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, Jesus. And he was like, they're all very good players. Can they take Arsenal to the title? It's looking a bit sticky at the minute, right? But in order for Arsenal to go and improve on any of those 4 players, it's hard.
It's a lot of money.
Like, who are you going to buy?
That's what I'm saying.
And how much are you going to have to fork out to go and improve on those 4 players?
And that, I agree with that. And that's the same thing with this whole, like, let's just replace Zinchenko. Who's gonna
nobody does it like Zinchenko.
Who's gonna be out there?
Even when Timber comes back.
And I was gonna say Timber's coming back, and Tomiyasu's gonna come back from Asia Cup.
Yeah.
And obviously Ben White is still Ben White. So it's like, who are you signing on a 6-month contract?
He's playing through injury at the moment as well.
Who are you signing on a 6-month-ish type of contract who's gonna be better than them and willing to just like sit on bench when they eventually will come back to fitness and good health? Because when they do come back to fitness and good health, we want to see caviar football. You want to see, I want to see Timber. I want to see Zinchenko, and so it's like, I agree with you, but that's why I fully expect nothing to happen because I think that's too difficult. If Arteta is going to be on that same vibe, which he should be, of don't sign anybody just for signing them, sign them to improve this team, to find better players than the ones that we already have in the club for reasonable money, because we can't just like we're pretending as if big team or teams who like Solanke is just going to leave Bournemouth in Jan. What? And
the meltdown if we don't sign anyone in this January.
That's what it's going to be. Crazy. Go into the market, like just have your like I don't know, just be a little bit realistic and be like, who? Don't just say names like Solanke and get Osimhen and like who for how much? Like how is this going to work? We're not. We always say that we hate Man City because we're not them. And we're not them. We don't have just like 100 mil in the bank somewhere stashed or Chelsea. These clubs that you can just like.
I saw someone tweet and was like, break every FFP rule available. break them all.
And you'll say that and you'll be like, oh yeah, we've signed him. And then when they slap us with the deduction, we'll be like,
it's going to be long. But we spoke about Arsenal for a while. Yeah. And the only thing I want to end on here is I want to tell a little story, right? For any Arsenal fans listening to this podcast. Let me take you back to Christmas Day, 1997. Right?
Damn.
Yeah, a long time ago. Time ago. Disclaimer: I wasn't born, but I'm telling you the story anyway. Christmas Day, 1997. Man United are top of the league, and Arsenal 13 points behind them.
Yeah, long way to go.
Right. That's 25th of December, 1997. Arsenal were 13 points behind them. That team had never won the Premier League, right? Man United had won back-to-back titles coming into that season. The Arsenal team had won the old First Division and whatever, but there's players that Vieira had come in, never won anything. Petit was in that team. Dennis Bergkamp was in that team. Exactly, starting to prove. Overmars. 13 points behind, and Arsenal went on to win the double. They won the league and they won the FA Cup. And to this day, that is the greatest run chase in Premier League. No team has recovered more points from being that far behind at Christmas.
And as I said,
and this Arsenal team are 5 points behind.
And as I said, if Arsenal are to win it, you as any Arsenal fan out there should know it's going to be in the most dramatic circumstances ever. Yeah, it's going to be when you least expect. When you think all is lost, and it's never going to happen. That's exactly when it happens.
Yeah.
So buckle up,
Arsenal fans. Relax.
But buckle up, man. Saddle in. It's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be one of them.
When people tell you Arsenal have a history of doing this, tell them that story. Because that Arsenal team had never won the league. And they were taking on the juggernaut that was Fergie.
At the time, yeah.
Right? This time we're taking on the juggernaut that is Pep. And that's not me saying we're going to go and win the league and we're going to go... But it's 5 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arsenal have come back from 13 before.
And the last thing I'll say on Arsenal as well is it owned, like...
With a manager, might I say, Arsene Wenger, who come from Japan.
Yeah.
People were laughing at him when he came.
New to the game.
Thought he can never win the league. Right? So let's just remember that. 5 points. We said 5 points in March.
Yeah. We'll take that
and then the season starts.
The last thing I'll say on this is these next 6 months are the most important 6 months. Like we've done well enough for the first 6 months, the first half of the season to be in contention. As we say, still 5 points off it. But these, like, if you talk about the last season and like the first 6 months of last season, if it replicates themselves for the final 6 months of this season, that's where we know that's where it matters. So I have a little faith. That's my little bit of optimism, is that we got the wrong end of the 6 months. We got like last season we got the last 6 months wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This season we've been all right for the first 6 months. And then let's hope that this is our terrible stretch.
Yeah, this is a blip.
Yeah.
City have had their blip.
Yeah. Let's hope that this is our terrible stretch, and for the next 6 months, Odegaard and Saka and all these guys hit the same similar sort of form and output and desire as they did beginning of last season. And Arteta's probably telling them that, of like, you don't worry, don't let fans get on top of you saying it's all over, it's this and that, because that's what they're saying City last year.
That's what Declan Rice came out and said, isn't it?
Yeah.
That now's not the time to be negative. And it's not, obviously, you can be upset with the loss, the performance, fully understand that, but we're 5 points behind first place, man.
Yeah.
It's like,
and a long way to go.
It could be worse. We could be Man United.
We could have Ten Hag.
We could have absolutely no faith that our manager's going to get us anywhere. But moving on from that game to Tottenham versus Bournemouth. Tottenham winning 3-1. I think Tottenham are now, I think they're 6 points off Liverpool, who are top of the table.
Yeah, 1 point behind us.
I mean, just, a great first half of the season for Tottenham. Sarr scored a good goal. Did you see Son's finish? I had that game on my phone whilst I was watching the Arsenal game, and it was just the stark contrast of just one guy that can just do that.
Yeah. No, but
off his left foot, tight angle, off the post.
When we were watching some of those old Champions League games the other day, I was like, you kind of forget, like, how long and consistently Son's been doing this. You know he's a good player. You know he's dangerous. You know he can do that. But like, it doesn't matter what foot. It doesn't matter what game. He definitely has that.
His finishing ability has never really been questioned, I don't think. Not by me, at least.
It's he's I still give him a lot of credit for. I never thought he was a number one guy, and he is a number. I never thought he had the ability to be a number one guy, and he definitely has the ability to be a number one guy and lead his team. And I want to big up Richarlison. Man.
Scoring goals,
turning it around. And just shout out to Ange as well, because Tottenham are playing good football. Like, they lost to Brighton obviously early in the week, but even in that game, it's like they showed fight, they showed effort, they showed hustle, they showed that, like, a little bit of something. So Ange's got these guys, they're like a thorn in a lot of people. Like, even when you think you're comfortable and you could be 4-0 up, like, it's not that, it's not that Tottenham are going to come back and win every game, but they're still not going to
They'll score goals.
They'll score goals. They'll be a threat.
Yeah. I can't actually remember a game this season where Tottenham haven't scored.
That's what I'm saying. I can't remember a game where, like, Tottenham have been out of it. Like, you have nothing to get from this. It comes down to, even when Wolves, for example, when Wolves beat them, it comes down to these final moments. So Ange, in that sense, has made them more competitive. They stick around in games. They look as if it's like you have to beat us, for example. And we'll just see how long that lasts.
But I mean, there's not much more they could do. They're in a great position. Saw Bat on the weekend. He said top four's wrapped up. So we'll see, man. We'll see, because I think I think it maybe even more so than in the title race. I think there's a lot of twists and turns in that top four race yet to come.
Yeah, that is coming down to the last match.
Yeah. I think
the last match week.
Twists and turns in that. And stick around for our predictions next week on who's gonna get top four, because we will be doing that. But on Bournemouth, I mean, I think they were unlucky because it was actually quite a good performance. Iraola came out and said, "I'm unhappy with the result, but quite happy with the performance." That they had chances. Solanke hit the crossbar. And it was just, I think Tottenham rode their luck a bit, but also they just had killers on the counter. Where they could just take the game away from Bournemouth. But I think shout out Iraola as well.
Shout out Iraola for sure. I think I was very worried for him at one point in the season. I thought he was going to be the first to go, just because of how Bournemouth were losing games and how shit the other teams were. So I think, for him to as well be, I think they have 20 points or whatever they have. Like, it's kind of incredible. He's getting the best out of Solanke for sure. I don't think anybody's seen him play this well. And all these Semenyo and, as I said, Christie. I think, I hope they can keep it going. The bubble will burst for them at some point, kind of like how it did for Everton. Like, Everton were bagging goals, winning games, 4 on the trot, and then it's like, all right, we lose the next 2. It will happen at some point, but it's the bounce back
Yeah.
where these teams are measured in.
Yeah.
Like if you lose 2 and then win the next one, instead of going on a slump and losing 4 or 5, that's where you'll be measured in this league table. And if Iriola can do that, can lose 2 but come back and win the next one, draw versus a big team, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll be calm.
Yeah, I think they'll be all right. I think, like you say, the way they're playing, the one thing about Bournemouth, the way they're playing is they create chances.
Yeah, and that's what matters, man.
Which, especially if you might be a team who's down there fighting at the end of the season. If you can rely on the fact that all season you've been creating chances, that will stand you in good stead come the final months of the season. But we'll move on to the last game we'll talk about, because West Ham and Brighton are playing right now, so we won't actually talk about that one. But Liverpool versus Newcastle on the Monday Night Football. Liverpool won 4-2 in the end. Could have been, they broke the record for XG. Could have been a lot more than that. They were dominant. But I wanted to say that, especially on Liverpool here, I know Mo Salah missed a pen, but the front three of Salah, Nunez, and Diaz, yesterday, Liverpool scored 4 goals, and only one of that front three scored.
It's not bagging.
The job that Salah is doing.
Yeah, it's crazy. But that's him, though. It's not crazy.
No, but this version of Salah,
do you know
different level. That outside the foot pass.
Oh, yeah, that's
for
good.
The goal.
But you know what it is?
The slip pass to Jota. He doesn't even get an assist on that when the Jota cuts it to Curtis Jones. When we used to have conversations about Salah, Mahrez, Hazard, that was always Salah's. He's an elite goal scorer.
Yeah, but he's not a player. He's not a football player.
Bro, what Salah's on this season,
even the pass to Jota.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. For then Curtis Jones.
Yeah.
That nice slip pass. Like this guy is doing, and I don't say this lightly, Riyad Mahrez and Hazard type stuff.
Yeah. He's got a lot of assists as well. Yeah. I think
that's the thing. The way Salah's game has developed, I did not see this coming.
Do you know what? Yeah, it's like, it's confidence. It's obviously ability.
It's not even like the shitbag assists that Mane would just beat 3 players and score. He's actually playing like
game
nasty
defining
slip balls.
Yeah, it's just one of those. It's one of those things when a football player grows older, and then you realize like, oh, he's mastered what he knows how to do in the game. Like Ben's had it, where it's like he knows to a T his strengths in football and what he can do with the football. And I think Salah's in that bag of like, if Salah receives the ball, like on the touchline but closer to the halfway line, he's just gonna give it up because that's not where he wants it. Yeah. He's just literally just gonna give it up and be like, give this back to me in 20 yards, 30 yards, and then he knows he's dangerous and he can play that. But I think the biggest credit to Salah is he's at a point in his career where like everything is just output. Like it's almost as if he doesn't touch the ball, or like it's not that he doesn't touch the ball, but it's almost as if like
he won't ride 3 challenges on the halfway line and then just play it out wide or something.
It's all just crisp, clean cut assists, goals, assists, like game defining passes, break up, open up the
and just to make it clear, you're saying that as a positive.
Yeah, 100%. I'm saying that as a positive, as like he's like Ronaldo did it. You hone in your game where it's just like, this is what I'm good at. Yeah. I'm good at defining games, and I'm gonna leave a lot of the messy stuff to the younger guys. Yeah. Go to that 50-50. Yeah. Go to that like
it's an acceptance of like when you're at that
level,
elite level, where only a very few players sit.
Yeah.
You can just say, I'm just gonna win the game for us.
Literally, that's literally it. Like under if Klopp could do his starting 11 and write it down and put like their attributes of what he wants them to do, under each name, Salah's would just be game winner.
Yeah.
Like game winner. Yeah. Everybody else would be like progressive passer, boxed up legs in midfield. It would be like
great pressing.
Yeah. Salah's would just be win the game. Everything else is null and void, and he does it. And that's the better thing, is that he does it. Like there's a lot of guys who have that role who don't do it.
That's on my when I mentioned Diaz and Nunez there as well. That's not to say they played badly yesterday.
Exactly.
Diaz played well. Nunez was a threat the whole game. But that's more to your point that Salah is he's the output.
He's the output guy.
He's the output.
G-A's.
Like Nunez can miss 3 big chances. Diaz can miss 2 big chances, and you'll win the game because Salah will have 1 or 2 and score both of them.
Yeah, and I think Klopp would go more berserk if Salah was missing those chances. then because as you said, that's
why this period now.
That's what him in the team for.
Yeah, this period now without Salah,
it's going to be the most interesting one.
It's going to be interesting. But Jota, who I also think we should maybe talk about a bit because he came on at Burnley, scored a great goal left foot, and he's just.
Jota's one of those guys who
he's an output guy again.
Exactly. I kind of like.
Jota has 5 goals, 4 assists.
I kind of hate him
in the league.
I don't hate Jota, to be clear, but he's one of those guys where it's like, irrespective of how he plays, he gets goals and assists.
Yeah.
And ever since he's come to Liverpool, he was at Wolves and he was all right.
I think that's a valid reason to hate a player.
But it is.
Because you don't have to really play well at all. And you'll come away with 2 goals.
Yeah. Whatever you think of his performance doesn't matter because he's on the score sheet.
Yeah.
And he was at Wolves, he was a good player. But he went to Liverpool and he just became that cunt of like, I'm just going to score him with assists. I'm just going to bag. I'm just going to get on the end of things. And he's one of those guys who doesn't need to be in form. He's in form now, but he doesn't need to be in form. You're never surprised if it's him on the score sheet.
That's why I think he could be
pivotal.
Quite big time in this period.
What I worry about now is who's going to be the one providing the final ball. I mean, Trent will do his thing, obviously. But it's just whether or not Curtis Jones and McAllister, Szoboszlai have enough consistency.
That McAllister pass, by the way.
Yeah, was it McAllister?
Yeah.
That slipped it through.
Yeah. I didn't even see Jota on the screen.
I thought it was Trent.
No, it was McAllister, the outside of his foot.
Yeah.
Jota robbed him of an assist.
My only question marks over Liverpool is whether or not those guys have enough consistent final ball. Because I think Núñez and Jota and Gakpo have enough in them. They'll miss chances, but they have enough in them to score chances as well. You just have to create like 5 a game for them. And if Liverpool can't create that 5 a game, it'll be tough for them. But if they can, they have enough pieces. But we've always said that Liverpool's attack is not going to be the issue as well.
And I think when you look at the way Liverpool played yesterday, I mean, the way they pressed Newcastle, the way they just suffocated them, didn't let them out. That's when Liverpool are at their best. But on Newcastle they looked knackered after 10 minutes.
Gordon, even though he got an assist, Gordon got an assist, but by 26 minutes he was blown. He wanted to be done.
And I think, they've got another big game away at Sunderland on Saturday.
And then they got Man City next in the league.
And, if they lose away at Sunderland, the fans are going to hate that. But, this team looks like it's tired.
I don't know
they
how.
Look like they are struggling.
You can't blame Eddie Howe too much because he's lost a lot of players through injuries. And even though I said injuries is not an excuse, I still agree with that. I still think injuries aren't an excuse. But I get it really feels like, why is he playing this? Like, I know this Lewis Miley's kid is nice. I know he's nice. I know he's got quality on the ball. But he's doing 90 everywhere. And I think that is why Liverpool and teams are pressing into it. It's like, we can go man for man to a certain extent because Newcastle have nice pieces, but there's always that one or the other. It's like Longstaff is in there, or Miley's in there, or somebody else is in there where you think, oh, we have a better player than him. And he's going to be the weak spot. And if we press him, if they get the ball out to him to build through, we're on it. You know? So, I don't know what Eddie Howe does. He's just got to get guys back as quick as possible. Or, I don't know. Like, I don't know if to blame him. Trust somebody else, maybe. Like,
I don't think Eddie Howe would be playing a 17-year-old
if he had another option.
Have to, right? Yeah.
But he dropped.
It's a bit like the Zinchenko thing. Recently, everyone's been like, "Oh, surely Kirill can't be as bad as Zinchenko. Surely Kirill can defend better."
Half time.
Why is this guy playing every week? That's why.
We
just saw it in the Fulham game.
Right? Tomiyasu's gone to the Asia Cup, and Arteta was like, "I need you to do these 45 minutes." Right. Yeah. I know it wasn't planned for Tomiyasu to do more than
not at all.
To do more than 10-minute cameos. In that game. But I just think
I don't think. But I think like you say, the squad is stripped bare at the minute.
Squad is stripped bare, but like you can't dig him too much because the squad is stripped bare. But it's like something has to give. Yeah. Otherwise, you will just slide down.
That's the worry. That's the worry because if they go and lose to Sunderland and then they go and lose to Man City, I think they've won 1 in the last 5. That'll be 1 in 7.
And I think the big issue with Newcastle is they used to be defensively sound, but they're not really keeping. It's not even that they're not keeping clean sheets anymore. Teams are like
Chris Wood back the hat trick.
Yeah, teams are getting goals on them. Teams are getting numbers on them. So it's got to change. I know Bournemouth just come back. Burns as well has just come back from injury. Trippier, man, he can't have a worse 2 months. Than that
he can't.
In football. So one shining light. I think Livramento man.
Yeah, Livramento's
He's nice. He's a
well,
nice piece.
1v1. I mean, even before the game, I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, Livramento's, he's gonna make it tough.
Yeah, and he's good. He's good on the ball. He's tough to beat. He's got the fundamentals from the Chelsea academy. I wonder why they don't play that Lewis Hall kid, who they also signed from Chelsea.
For some reason, I don't think Eddie Howe really knows where to play him at the minute. Whether to play him as a centre midfielder or a left back.
Yeah, but you'd think that at least you'd be getting 10-minute, 20-minute cameos because you've played Lewis Miley for 90 minutes for the past 7 weeks. But
I think Lewis Miley's shown. I think when Lewis Hall has played, he's not been great.
And that's credit to Miley because Miley's 2 years younger than him or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I think when you see that your team is that tired and Anfield has that much energy, like the problem I had in that game was Dubravka was making save after save after save. And you look at the clock and it's like 65th minute. and you're like, oh.
I had the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, there's absolutely no way this is going to carry on. Like, at some point, Liverpool are going to put the ball in the back of the net.
The team was so gassed. Guys couldn't close down the 5 yards. They'd
already missed a penalty.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, that's all the fixtures for this week. We'll do MVP and Rookie of the Week. For me, I ain't got too many. MVP, I was going to give one to Cole Palmer.
Yeah, I've got to get his.
I think for, again, 2 goals, people calling him a pen merchant. He scored 2 goals in open play. And yeah, just again showing like, he said to Pep, I want guaranteed minutes. Pep said, I can't give you that. And he left and he's balling. So fair play. It's rare that, like, I think you would ever say, oh, this player's left, especially a young player, has left Man City, left a chance to play with under Pep, guaranteed trophies, all of that. And it's actually been a successful move. So yeah, Cole Palmer. And for rookie, Jota is one of them. How you got an open goal and you're going down and taking a pen instead?
Insane,
the goal is open.
It's insane dick riding to give Salah those numbers.
Yeah.
And not have them for years. You must have a goal bonus somewhere in your contract.
Or he's got Salah as his captain
in the FPL. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're getting a rookie for that, man. Just stay on your feet, put it in the back of the net.
I'll give my MVPs to Olise because he's been balling for the past couple of weeks. I think he's got like 3 goals in 2 games. There was somebody else who I was thinking of who's literally just skipped my mind now.
One rookie I was gonna give, Gary Neville. You can't compare Anthony to Riyad Mahrez in any way, shape, or form. That's just disrespectful.
Yeah. I'll give an MVP to Estepinian just for being back. Just for being back.
That goal as well.
I'm back.
Outrageous. The swaz on it, everything. So good.
Rookie of the week. I'd still give it to Matt Turner.
100%.
Just because 100%. It's like, I know, like Morgan Gibbs White bailed you out of it, but week after week after week, you're throwing away again. And I'm annoyed that he looks annoyed at himself. He's always like, oh, I don't know how have I done that?
Yeah.
Bro.
and after the first one, where you've just kicked it up in the air and it's come back to you, you've then passed it to Garnacho. Yeah, Matt Turner for sure.
He's always like, how have I done that? I can't believe it. No, I'm not having that. Any other rookies of the week? Oh, MVP of the week? David Raya. Long time since I've seen a penalty save from a goalkeeper at Arsenal. Long time.
Fair.
I'll give you an MVP. It's been, I think of the Czech era. I think of the Ospina era.
When Troy Deeney missed.
My God. Like, it's been a minute. So hopefully he can keep
see it keep actually saving.
That's what I'm saying. Not player miss. But an Arsenal keeper save a penalty. Yeah. And obviously fans would have killed Declan Rice.
Yeah. 3-0, it looks a lot worse.
At
home.
Exactly. Goal difference as well. It's
that's fair.
And keeps the murmur shut. Did you see that tweet I sent you? And he was like, "It's all David Raya's fault."
Yeah.
Like, what?
You know, actually, one person who I will give an MVP to, because I realize we have crucified Man United on this episode, but one person that I will give an MVP to is Garnacho.
He's playing football, yeah.
Because I think of all the Man United players there, of all the like talk that we've had about not playing for Ten Hag and whatever, I think this kid just goes out and just thinks, you know what, I'm just going to do everything I can to help this team. Like every time he gets the ball, he goes 1v1. Reminds me a bit of like Martinelli when he first came into the team.
Yeah.
He's not afraid of that. He'll commit players. He'll make things happen. Even on the goal, it's a great pullback for Rashford. A lot of players in that position might just hit the shot. He scored twice midweek against Villa to get Man United back in the game. I think of all the guys that you look at and you think, oh, these players need to be stepping up at Man United, especially given the situation. I think Garnacho's, as a 19, 20-year-old,
he's done his job,
turning up and saying, yeah, you know what, I'll do everything I can to make something happen.
I'd agree with that. As all the United pundits say, oh, there's a player there. Oh, he's got the quality.
Yeah. But yeah, that is all the fixtures for this week. And our MVP and rookies. Like I mentioned earlier, next week we'll be doing mid-season awards and predictions. So I've got a couple categories already lined up. I'll send them over to Michael. You can decide who you might give it to. Yeah, and then we'll come back next week and let you guys know our thoughts. So we will be telling you who we think is going to win the league. Who knows, man? If something mad happens between now and next week, we might put Arsenal there.
TP back in training.
Yeah, might see the photos come out.
Oh, back with a smile. That's what
Timber's out on the grass. If there's an Ivan Toney bid accepted, maybe that might change
watch the
things.
space. I just brace if you're not fan, brace yourself for the transfer rumors.
Yeah.
But just brace yourself. You know how it goes.
And
I heard Jan and Vida still knocking around.
I'm hearing Adrian Rabiot finally coming to Arsenal. But no, the last thing I want to say, any Arsenal fans watching this, calm.
Yeah, it's a long ass season, man.
Calm. It's a long season.
It's a long season.
And like I've said before, if it comes to March and Arsenal lose back-to-back games, you'll come here and you'll see me and Michael
a different one, getting
visceral, getting serious.
I'll be ripping up players' contracts. I'll be ripping up players' contracts. Yeah, Zinchenko, you can.
We thought you were caviar.
Yeah, you could go.
Yeah, get Tierney back. But
until then,
we're 5 points behind.
Yeah. Until then,
have some faith. Mikel Arteta has shown us more than enough. The players have shown us more than enough. Have some faith, stay calm,
for real,
and we'll see what happens. But love for watching and listening, all the appreciation. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. That's one thing I need to do in the new year is tell people subscribe, comment,
this viewership up. Yeah, do it for you.
If you're listening on Spotify, rate us 5 stars. And any support shown for the pod we appreciate. But thank you guys for listening and peace.
Have a blessed 24.